Welcome to Grow Yourself Great. Before you can change the pattern, you have to understand the psychology that built it. Some people do not lose their voice because they have nothing to say. They lose their voice because somewhere in life, speaking became psychologically unsafe. And contrary to what many people assume, this does not only happen to women. It does not only happen to children. Men lose their voice too. Fathers, husbands, brothers, boyfriends, leaders, providers, high-functioning men, emotionally intelligent men, traumatized men, quiet men, angry men. Some men stopped communicating honestly years ago while still talking every day. Because losing your voice is not always becoming silent externally. Sometimes losing your voice means you no longer feel emotionally safe enough to express what is happening internally. And eventually, the nervous system starts making a calculation. Is honesty emotionally safe or emotionally dangerous? And for many people, especially people with unresolved attachment wounds, chronic invalidation, relational trauma, emotional shame, abandonment experiences, criticism trauma, or nervous system hypervigilance, silence becomes protection, not peace, protection. And later in this video, I'm going to explain something many people never realize about emotional shutdown. Because most people think silence means the person doesn't care. But many times, silence is what happens when the nervous system no longer believes communication will lead to safety, understanding, resolution, or emotional connection. And once you understand that, you will begin hearing emotional shutdown different. Psychology has a name for this: emotional inhibition. The suppression, restriction, avoidance, or shutdown of authentic emotional expression. But many people misunderstand how this actually looks in real life. Because some people lose their voice loudly. They become defensive, reactive, sarcastic, dismissive, emotionally avoidant, chronically agreeable, passive, emotionally detached, or explosively angry. Why? Because anger often feels safer than vulnerability. Withdrawal often feels safer than rejection. Avoidance often feels safer than emotional exposure. And eventually, communication stops becoming an attempt to connect and starts becoming an attempt to survive emotionally. Some of you do not say, "I'm hurt." You say, "It's whatever." Some of you do not say, "I feel emotionally rejected." You say, "I don't care." Some of you don't say, "That conversation overwhelmed me emotionally." You shut down, withdraw, go quiet, change the subject, leave the room, or emotionally disappear while physically present. And people around you may interpret that as coldness, disinterest, lack of care, or emotional immaturity. Meanwhile, internally, the nervous system is overloaded. People are not born afraid of honest emotional expression. Something teaches the nervous system that vulnerability is dangerous. Sometimes it was criticism, mockery, punishment, dismissal, emotional invalidation, unpredictable caregivers, trauma, abandonment, shaming, emotional neglect, or constantly feeling misunderstood. And eventually the nervous system begins learning, when I express myself honestly, I get hurt. That changes communication permanently if unhealed. Because psychology has a phrase for this: protective adaptation. The nervous system adapting around emotional pain. Some people learned, do not cry, do not complain, do not need too much, do not be emotional, do not express weakness, do not upset people, Do not make things worse. Handle it yourself. And eventually, silence becomes identity. Me. Why do I shut down when conversations become emotionally intense? Myself. Because your nervous system learned emotional exposure can lead to pain. So I'm not only reacting to the current conversation, me. No, many men were never taught emotional regulation. They were taught emotional suppression. That is not the same thing. Psychology has a name for this: normative male emotional restriction, meaning boys often receive direct and indirect messages that emotional vulnerability is weakness. So many men learn perform strength, provide, endure, handle pressure, stay composed, fix problems, suppress emotion, keep moving. But suppression is not healing. And eventually, many men become emotionally disconnected from their sadness, fear, hurt, grief, rejection, emotional needs, and even emotional language itself. So instead of saying, I feel emotionally overwhelmed, the body says it through irritability, anger, withdrawal, emotional numbness, workaholism, avoidance, substance use, shutdown, or emotional detachment. Because unexpressed emotion does not disappear, it relocates psychologically. And this is where many relationships begin deteriorating quietly, because one person is trying to communicate emotionally, while the other person's nervous system is trying to survive emotionally. Those are not the same process. Emotional shutdown can look like going blank during conflict, forgetting thoughts mid-conversation, struggling to explain feelings, becoming emotionally numb, withdrawing, people-pleasing, freezing, agreeing externally while disconnecting internally, or becoming emotionally flooded and unable to organize thoughts clearly. Psychology has a name for this too: nervous system dysregulation. Because once the nervous system becomes overloaded, communication quality changes. The thinking brain loses organization. Emotional processing narrows. Defensiveness rises. Listening decreases. Survival responses increase. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And many people think, I don't know why I can't communicate. Meanwhile, the nervous system is no longer functioning from regulation. Some people physically feel themselves losing access to their voice during emotional, intense conversations. Chest tightens, heart races, thoughts scatter, body tenses, words disappear, mind goes blank. And internally, the nervous system starts asking, how do I protect myself right now? Not how do I communicate effectively? That distinction changes relationships profoundly. Losing your voice creates relational consequences. Resentment builds silently. Needs go unmet. Misunderstandings increase. Emotional intimacy decreases. Conflict resolution weakens. Emotional distance grows. And eventually, some people start feeling unheard, unseen, emotionally alone, chronically misunderstood, or disconnected even inside relationships. Because suppressed emotion does not create peace. It often creates emotional disconnection. And over time, many people stop feeling known entirely. Some of you are physically present in relationships, but emotionally hidden inside them. People know your schedule, your responsibilities, your roles, but they do not know your internal emotional world anymore. Not because you have no emotions, because somewhere along the way, your nervous system stopped believing emotional honesty was safe enough. Psychology has a name for this: fawning. A survival response where people prioritize emotional safety through accommodation, appeasement, emotional suppression, or over adaptation. Some people learned if everybody else is okay, maybe conflict will not happen. So now they over-explain, over-accommodate, avoid disagreement, suppress needs, minimize hurt, and abandon themselves relationally. Not because they lack identity, because the nervous system learned conflict feels dangerous. Many people who lose their voice eventually only access emotion through anger. Why? Because anger feels powerful. Sadness feels vulnerable. Fear feels vulnerable. Rejection feels vulnerable. Need feels vulnerable. So the nervous system converts softer emotions into harder emotional armor. And eventually people stop saying, I feel hurt, and start saying, you always, you never, forget it. Meanwhile, underneath the anger, there is often fear, hurt, disconnection, loneliness, grief, or emotional insecurity. Healing begins when people stop shaming themselves for protective adaptations and start understanding what the nervous system learned. Because emotional shutdown is not random. It is usually protective. And healing requires awareness, emotional safety, nervous system regulation, emotional language development, corrective relational experiences, and repeated emotional honesty practiced safely over time. Psychology has a phrase for this: earned security, meaning people can gradually build safer attachment and emotional functioning through healthier relational experiences. Healing is not only emotional insight, it is skill development. Some people must intentionally learn how to pause without shutting down, how to express emotion without escalating, how to regulate activation, how to identify emotional states accurately, how to tolerate discomfort, how to stay emotionally present during conflict, and how to communicate needs directly without collapsing internally. That is emotional regulation work. That is nervous system retraining. That is relational skill building. Self-regulation means learning how to stabilize your own nervous system internally. Co-regulation means two nervous systems helping create emotional safety together. Healthy communication is not who wins the argument. Healthy communication is, can both nervous systems remain emotionally safe enough to stay connected while discussing difficult things? That changes relationships completely. Tone matters. Pacing matters. Validation matters. Listening matters. Emotional safety matters. Because nervous systems communicate before words do. Family. First and most importantly, love yourself. And sometimes loving yourself means telling the truth about what hurts, what overwhelms you, what scares you, what you need, and where you emotionally disappear inside relationships. Because silence may protect you temporarily while disconnecting you permanently. Real. Recognizing every aspect of life, recognizing the shutdown, the avoidance, the emotional fear, the anger armor, the people pleasing, the emotional withdrawal, the nervous system activation, and the internal wounds underneath them. Because awareness interrupts unconscious patterns. IDC, intentional, deliberate, creative living. Healing requires intentional communication, intentional nervous system awareness, intentional emotional honesty, intentional emotional regulation, intentional relational repair. Because healthy relationships are not sustained accidentally. Think it. My shutdown is communicating something psychologically important. Speak it. Practice honest emotional language safely and clearly. Do it. Regulate. Pause. Breathe. Slow conversations down. Stay emotionally present. practice communication instead of emotional disappearance, because healing happens through repeated corrective experiences. Some people did not lose their voice because they had nothing to say. They lost it because life taught their nervous systems honesty can become emotionally dangerous. And healing begins the moment people stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and start asking, "What did my nervous system learn about emotional safety?" Because many people are not emotionally disconnected by nature. They became emotionally protective through experience. And protection is not the same thing as peace. If this video helped you understand emotional shutdown, losing your voice, nervous system protection, emotional regulation, and communication more clearly, subscribe to Grow Yourself Great. Comment, protection is not peace. Understanding your psychology matters. It helps you understand the patterns shaping your life. Understand clearly. Integrate deeply. Grow yourself great.